Wow! We're here at the Channel 25 Zip Trip tent. And guess what? They're on Whitman Park this morning. We're going to walk around, we're going to talk to people. There'll be lots of people down there because there are right now, I'll tell you. And we may even get in a celebrity or two, so keep watching. Hey, we have a special treat for you right now. We've got news anchor Lilly talking to us from Channel 25.
Woo, this is wonderful.
Do you enjoy these little zip trips?
I absolutely love them. You get a little flavor and a little taste of every town across the Commonwealth, and you get to meet so many people. It's fantastic.
Well, that's wonderful. We love to hear that. How long have you been at Channel 25?
About 13 years now.
13 years, my goodness. Where do you hail from?
I'm originally from New York, but I've lived in New England for so long that I'm no longer a wash ashore.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, the next question is how you rooted yourself through your career to get here.
So a lot of times what you do is you start in a smaller market and you work your way up to a bigger market. So I moved from New York to South Dakota to Wisconsin to Rhode Island to finally Boston, which has been great.
Okay, so that means you have plenty of stuff behind on your background bringing you in here.
Yeah.
Plus they must have really loved your audition tape.
You know, I hope so. I certainly hope so. They talked to my agent about that, but I'm sure that they did. But I have to tell you, we're actually doing this during a segment during our live show, so I have to run back to the set. But it was so nice to meet you guys, and thank you for having us in Whitman.
Oh, it was so nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
You better get back on that set before you're late.
Bye, guys.
That's your latest headlines. We're going to toss it back to you all. Having a great time over in Whitman.
We are. Crystal, thanks so much. And who better to know about the town of Whitman than Town Administrator Mary Beth Carter, who has lived here. We were just talking. You briefly left Whitman. Those were dark days. No, they weren't. They were fun. You moved out, right? But you've been here all of your life.
Yes, I have. Yes,
fantastic. And you're the new town administrator. You've been doing about 6 months you've been on the job. And so there are some, even though you've been with the town for 20 years, but there are some exciting things happening in Whitman. And some of them, you know, when you talk about being a town administrator, sometimes you have to deal with the nuts and bolts of things that aren't the frills and the bells and whistles. And one of them is the DPW facilities that were in desperate need of being changed. And now you guys have it.
That's correct. So at our recent town meeting in May, a $17.8 million borrowing was done for a new DPW project. It was desperately needed. We're very excited about that, and that should be completed by the end of the calendar year, 2024.
You know, credit to you, because a lot of times, you know, some of those stuff, it's hard to ask the residents to step up, but you were saying the conditions they were working in, they really needed to change for the people of DPW.
Absolutely. We had put this project forth a couple of times, and it didn't pass, and it was sorely needed, and I'm thrilled that got passed, and they'll be in it in the beginning of 2025 from what I hear.
Fantastic. So there is a landmark in town, Peaceful Meadows. Everybody loves it. It's been voted one of the best ice cream shops in the whole state. But the family is kind of moving on, and so now the business is going to be up for auction. So someone in our viewing area could potentially be the brand new owner of this very well-known ice cream shop. Tell me a little about what the process will be to purchase that.
Okay, so Peaceful Meadows, the ice cream stand has been in business since 1962. The Howe family owns the properties. There are actually 4 properties that are going up for auction on August 29th. And so, yes, we'll see what happens with that auction. It would be, you know, we'll have to just wait and see. Everybody loves the Peaceful Meadows ice cream. They have a dairy store there as well. And I just want to thank the Hogue family for, you know, being in business in Whitman for all these years, because they're going to be sorely missed. But the auction process is broken up into 4 parcels. It will be the ice cream stand, the dairy barns, the dairy store, and the original farmhouse. And then there is a large lot of land. And then there are 2 homes, a single family and a 2-family that will be auctioned off.
like the Kennedy compound over there. Oh my goodness, you could own that. That's fantastic. Two things for Whitman schools: a potential for a new middle school, and also some exciting things for South Shore Voc.
That's correct. So the Whitman Middle School, there's a proposal for a new middle school, grades 5 through 8, and we have a special town meeting scheduled on October 30th for that article, and then there'll be a special town election as well on November 4th. So that is coming up for the town to vote on. And also South Shore Voc is in the very early stages with the MSBA planning for either a renovated high school or a new high school. So South Shore Voc has 9 towns, and Whitman has the largest percent of enrollees, 24%.
We put you really through it this morning. We put you in 2 different segments. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Gene, there is a lot going on here in Whitman.
Here we are, more from Channel 25 Day at Whitman Park. We're in the Boy Scouts of America tent with 2 of our Cub Scout leaders here. And those of you who saw the Whitman Day coverage that we did noticed I made myself a sandwich in that one between this guy and his assistant. So, Matt, tell a little bit about what things are like for Cub Scouts today in Whitman.
Things are great. We have 2 great packs, 59 and 22. We are looking forward to a great joining day coming up to get some new scouts involved. We do a lot of fun things over the course of the year and even during the summer. So.
Okay, now let's turn to the other slice of bread over here. Chris Marks, who is the
Cubmaster at Pack 22.
I was going to ask you whether it was Pack Master or Cub Master because I can never remember that.
Yep.
Because it's been so long since I was a Cub Scout. So, tell me a little bit more about the sign-up day that's coming up.
Yeah, so we're every fall we have a sign-up day. We call it Roundup over at the police station, kind of right behind us, and we have a bunch of tables out there, kind of give a little bit of information about the 2 different programs, and then the scouting program in general. Because the program for scouting is the same for both packs. The only real difference between the 2 of them is the where we meet and when we meet,
and the personalities of the Cub Masters.
Sure.
Because you and Matt are similar a little bit, but there's still a lot of differences between the 2 of you.
Yeah, you know, you're going to put your own personal flair into it no matter what you do, and I like to have a lot of fun. I haven't seen Matt's meetings, but I've seen him with his kids, and his kids seem to really enjoy those meetings too. So,
well, frankly, I've enjoyed the ones I've been to as well.
There you go.
So, okay, well, thanks, guys. So don't forget, the sign-up day is coming up, and if you see this after that happens, you can still sign up. You don't have to wait till the 1st of September to do it. So anytime, if you've got a young boy who wants to be a Cub Scout.
Or girl.
That's right, girls too. See, I'm going back to my childhood again. Well, you know, when you're a senior citizen, you do that a lot. Anytime you want to contact either one of these 2 guys, what's the website? Scouting.org. You can find out how to get a hold of these 2 guys and sign them up for Cub Scouts, and they'll continue into the Boy Scouts, and hopefully they'll have a great time. I know I always have at those meetings, especially the Pinewood Derby ones. So, okay, now let's move on to the next one. Rob Preskins.
Yes, hi.
Come on over here.
Hello.
You can talk to me a little bit about Boy Scouting.
Boy Scouts. We run every Thursday at the Holy Ghost Spellman Church. We have activities year-round. We do right now we have a group in Europe. They went from England to Germany to France, doing like a tour there. We got about 10 scouts over there doing that. We just came back from a 12-day backpacking trip in New Mexico at a scout ranch called Philmont Scout Ranch. It's the tail end of the Rocky Mountains called the Santo Cristo Mountains, where they did 84 miles of backpacking, but with all the other walking, we probably did close to 125 miles, carrying everything on our packs. We do campouts once a month. We have different activities. We do everything from first aid to learning knots to local government, learning about that kind of thing. So it's a fun, Boy Scouts is a fun, great thing. Plus the older boys learn a lot about leadership because we're a boy-run troop. And my son is currently the senior patroller in charge of the rest of the troop, and we have patrols. which we have patrol leaders, and it's an organization that the boys learn leadership skills that they carry on through life. My oldest son graduated this year, but his leadership skills, he's actually becoming a local coach and other stuff, and I can see the difference Scouting makes.
I just wanted to say, your younger son, Cooper, there, just did one of the major events that you guys have during the year.
Yes.
About, what, 2-3 months ago?
I think it was May or April, so a little bit longer. I don't know. Yeah, summer's happening so fast.
Yes,
but yeah, it's called Gold Rush, and it's kind of a skills session. They go around there in teams. They go around throughout the day, and we had a Marvel theme, so they had to collect the stones for the Infinity Gauntlet, and each station was a different skill set, whether it be first aid, whether it be lashings, whether it be some kind of teamwork activity that they had to pull together and do. And the senior patrol leader, he actually was, they call it the governor. He was the governor, and he kind of coordinated and ran the whole thing.
Yeah, and he not only that, but he had a really crazy thing thrown at him because it started to pour the day that they did that. And he had to make some really quick adjustments.
Right, he had to learn to think on his feet like most adults do when we're doing a job or a task. Things happen and you got to make decisions. And yeah, you're right, absolutely.
And he did a wonderful job getting things ready. Yeah. It's a sign of the times.
Hey, join Cub Scouts. Come on down. You know what? What's great about Cub Scouts is the fact that anybody and everybody can do it. Boys and girls. Scouting also. It's and group of friends that meet once a week, and there's all kinds of activities to do. That's one thing I like about scouting is that everybody's welcome. Okay.
Okay, now let's make some room for Rob to come in, and we can talk a little bit about the council. Now tell me, what is the council all about?
So the Mayflower Council represents 62 communities and towns from Stowe, Massachusetts, all the way down to Plymouth, and we are we oversee and help units start and run a successful scouting program.
Okay, now you also have some other things that you can do too to help them out, right?
Absolutely. We provide them with support. We provide them with obviously membership opportunities. We work with the unit on unit development, but we're also out in the community trying to get the word out about our programs. And as Rob said earlier, you know, we're not just Boy Scouts. Scouting is a family environment now, and it's open to boys and girls. And what we're really proud about here in Whitman is we have one of the original girl troops that was started right here in Whitman, and it's beginning to grow a lot more as more boys and girls go into the Cub Scout program. They eventually need a place to cross over when they become of age to cross over to Scouts. So it works well for us.
And not only that, but there have been 2 girls who have attained their Eagle Scout recently.
And you know what? You're going to hear about that a lot more, because as girls go through this program, they are going right to the top. And in fact, it keeps the boys on their toes, believe it or not, because they get a little competitive.
Especially when they have to compete with Samantha Ken.
Exactly. But you know, we're really proud of the community here, the scouting community here. It's nice to see that we have both of our packs and troops here today, really getting along and promoting the message and promoting the movement.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rob, and congratulations to Sam and Acadia.
The main event.
We're going to do that right now. Of course, we all know about the history of Whitman and the chocolate chip cookie, which was created at Toll House Inn by Ruth Graves Wakefield, and it's the birthplace of the chocolate chip cookie.
Has she been sainted yet?
She should be.
She should be.
You know, she was born in East Walpole, Massachusetts, grew up in Easton, and then came here and actually went to what the equivalent of Framingham State is now. But anyway, I don't know much about her. But this
Do you have a tattoo of her or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is, on my belly. Leslie DiOrio is with us, and you're a data analyst by day. And by night, I want to make sure I have this right, you are the Whitman Cookie Mama. Is that right?
Yes.
How did you earn that title?
It was kind of a hobby gone crazy, and so I started doing artisan cookies, small batch cookies for, birthdays, weddings, etc.
Yeah. Do you have to analyze the data of what ingredients work best, that sort of thing? Brown sugar, butter.
We have done some of that. I don't do a lot of analysis myself now. I like to tell people I lead the nerd parade now. So
fantastic.
So you have 2 different types of cookies here this morning.
I do. And I'm told that you are supposed to guess which is the Toll House recipe and which is my own.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
So I will sample this one first.
All right. Shall I as well? Let me see. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to wait for you to say yes, by the way.
All right. It's on the palate now, Lil.
I mean, that's classic.
I'm not complaining about that at all. That's good. A little water maybe.
Come on in.
Here's the palate.
Anybody got milk?
No, I threw that
Did you
one.
chew that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's one. This one now. The other one. On my back from the bird. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna say. Lil, you want to make a guess on this, Lil?
I mean, this is kind of a classic cookie. The Toll House.
I'm gonna say this.
The Toll House,
This is Toll House, and this is you. This is the Cookie Mama.
Consensus? Yes.
I feel like these look like the Toll House cookie. I feel like
Oh,
this.
you have them, my girl.
You're right.
Okay.
You get it right?
This is the Toll House cookie, and this is our own.
Okay,
We
we
got
did
it right,
it.
people.
They're both delicious.
What was that?
They're both delicious.
They're both delicious. Oh, nice stuff.
Love that.
Leslie, appreciate you bringing down the cookies and helping us
Thanks,
sample them this
Mel.
morning. Because you can't come to Whitman and not have a chocolate chip cookie. Am I right?
Sure.
As a matter of fact, as we go to break, would you like one? Would you like one? Yeah?
We've got some milk.
Go ahead.
Here we have our newest selectman, Laura. I'm blanking out on everybody's names today. Laura Howe. I've known her for 10 years and I still can't remember her last name. I'm doing good. So, Laura, how are things going today as far as you're concerned with this zip trip from Channel 25?
I love it. I think it's wonderful to bring everybody together, and it's been such an enjoyable event.
Okay, now this has brought forth quite a crowd.
Yes.
Do you think this is going to have a positive effect on the residents of Whitman?
Yes, I do, and I think if they come back again because of these tents set up, I'd like to see maybe our local, craftsmen and such set up tents as well. I think it could be a really enjoyable event, bigger than it is right now.
Well, maybe we can work that out for the next Whitman Day.
Amen. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. And maybe we could work on the Winterfest too.
Well, I don't know about that. I wouldn't want to be standing out here with a microphone on a cold day in December.
I'm all for bringing back community events. We have a wonderful community. We have a lot of diversity and a lot of people that are community oriented, and I love when we have events that can really join that together.
Okay, thank you so much, Laura.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was nice to see you and have a great day. And I'm terrible with names as well. Even sometimes faces. So
Well, I remember the faces. I just can't put the names together with them sometimes anymore.
you're doing better than I. God bless. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here is a face that almost everybody in Whitman knows. He is no longer in public service. He is a private citizen, Mr. Frank Lynam. How are you today, Frank?
Excellent, thank you.
How does it feel to be a private citizen finally?
It feels wonderful. It's an opportunity to look at everything with no needed perspective.
And you certainly managed to leave that behind.
I did, and it was, if you count all the years together, it was 27 years, but there were tough years and good years, and you reach a point where you say, okay, now it's time to start a new phase. And that's what retirement was for me. A time to be able to relax and spend time with my family.
Okay, so what do you think of this gathering today?
Well, they asked me a trivia question related to Forrest Gump and said, if life was a box of chocolates, what would it be? And I looked around and I said, assorted. Now, here was Whitman Sampler, of course.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that, wasn't quite getting that way myself, but I was thinking, well, it's chocolate-covered mixed nuts, actually.
Well, I did say nuts, but it was under my breath.
Okay, Frank, thank you so much for giving us a few seconds to talk. Shh. Gene Lavanchy just stepped out from the big tent over there to do an interview over here. So we want to show you that. Him getting ready to do it, because it'll be going on there live in just a few seconds. And you get a sneak peek of Gene Lavanchy behind the scenes. This is a group known as Music Drives Us, and this is Kelsey. She's one of the head people around here. Tell us, what is Music Drives Us all about?
Yeah, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we work throughout New England, and we help bring music back into schools all across the states, whether that be donating instruments to supplying grants.
Okay, well, instruments are needed just as much as anything else.
Very much so. Usually music is the first program that's cut in school, so we're really trying to combat that and get them all back into schools.
Yeah, without you, people would be playing music on Kleenex combs.
Yeah, 100%. So we're very happy to be here today in Whitman to be giving $2,500 to help supplement their music program.
Okay, $2,500. Can you hold that check up just a little bit higher and see if our cameraman can pick it up? $2,500 to go for the music department because times are really tight here right now.
Yeah, it's really sad that all these programs are getting cut. So we're really happy to be doing this today. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now tell us how people can find out more about you.
Yeah, go ahead and go on musicdrivesus.org. You can donate there. You can see any events that we have coming up. We have all of our info there as well as on our socials, which is also Music Drives Us.
Musicdrivesus.org. Visit it.
Thank you.
I want to talk more about some of the great things that go on here in Whitman. And what we're learning, there are a lot of different organizations that help out the community, including the Cultural Council here in Whitman. We have Adriana DiStefano and Juliana Dunn, both with the Cultural Council here this morning. And Adriana, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit exactly about what the council's about.
So basically, we're a program that's an extension of the Mass Cultural Council. We get grants from the state to disperse around town for cultural events, including music, the arts, STEM programs. We run a lot of events at the Council on Aging, at the local schools, and the library.
So you guys are heavily involved. You got a lot of stuff going on. Juliana, tell us about some of the specific things that you guys do, because you have some really terrific events that you're behind.
We do. We have Whitman Day, which is now in June, every June, the second Saturday in June, rain or shine. Next year, we hope to bring some great events like we did this year. We had live music throughout the day, food trucks, we had free art projects that kids could do, we had a bull riding machine. We hope to have a chocolate chip cookie contest next year. We were nervous about food at first just because of COVID.
Sure.
So we had a puppy parade where anybody who had a dog could come and walk around the park. And so it's really to celebrate using the arts and music to celebrate all that Whitman is and bring community together and let the neighbors get to know each other, particularly after COVID.
You guys are experts in culture and arts. So, Adriana, just honest question. Would a Zip Trip qualify as a cultural event?
I'd say so, definitely.
You hesitated.
It can be. It's a community event, so that's a great thing.
Does the bird sing? Because then that might qualify.
We had some birds here. Hey, if folks want to get involved with the council or partake in any of the events, what's the best way to do that? How can they help out?
Well, come to the events. There's
What's your next one?
Next summer.
Okay,
we do 6
so
summer
there's a
concerts.
lot of planning.
Yeah. Well, Whitman Day takes a lot because about 2,000 people come. It's a
awesome.
6 or 7 hour day. It's the concerts are Thursday nights at 6 for about 5 or 6 Thursdays, starting in June to July, and we're sort of beginning to have conversations about that. We had a great event. The last one was Rose Conservatory that came over from Brockton, and we had a huge drumming circle. So
well, you can never do enough to plan ahead for these things, as you know, and coming up with new things to put in there every year. You guys are doing amazing work. We're learning about Whitman, everything that is done in the community to benefit the community, and you guys are a big part of that. So congratulations, and thank you for coming down and sharing your story with us this morning here in Whitman. We have to take a break. We're going to have another full... Who was that? That was that bird again. He's causing some trouble this morning. We got to take a break. We'll continue our Zip Trip here in Whitman as we come on back. Don't go away.
The DAV has a presence almost all over the country for disabled American veterans. And this is Mike Valila, who is a disabled American vet. And we're going to talk about it because we don't notice that presence somewhere, in Whitman as much as other places do, because we have a bigger group of guys at the VFW and the DAV. So you'd like to talk a little bit about the DAV to let people know about it here?
Sure. So what you're referencing as far as size in the community is the fraternal chapter. Just like American Legion or VFW, DAV has fraternal chapters all across the state, all across the country. And in each community, they vary in size. You also have to take into consideration your member base versus your active member base. Like American Legion and VFW, we don't have brick and mortar buildings. It's a rarity with us. And that's because all of the money that DAV gets in donations from the general public or that our members have with their membership dues or funds they bring in, all of that goes directly back to veteran services. We don't put any money into marketing. We don't put any money into, like I said, the brick and mortars. Everything goes into our services. So if you were to search us on Charity Finder, you'll see, just over 95 cents of every dollar donated goes directly back. How does that go back? That goes back through all of our service programs that we carry as an organization. So really the meat and potatoes, of what we do is our claims and benefits. So DAV is the oldest, largest wartime veteran service organization in the country. We're just over 100 years old. We're a VA affiliate, which means we have direct access to VA systems and can direct and assist veterans with their disability claims. We're able to access the totality of their military, medical, and personnel records, their VA records, their claim history, everything with a click of a mouse. So when a veteran comes to us looking for assistance, whether it's their first time filing or they're coming back looking for an increase or to submit a new disability claim or file an appeal, we can guide them through all of that and have the expertise to do so. Outside of claims and benefits, like I said, we have a variety of services and programs. We have a hospital service program. We're in all the VAs across the state and the country, where we have not only our service officer team doing claims and benefits, but we have a voluntary service offset that's in all these VAs too. In Massachusetts alone, through our 5 VAs, Leeds, Bedford, Brockton, Jamaica Plains, and West Roxbury, just last year we had over 250 of our volunteers in those hospitals providing services that otherwise would, be a paid position for somebody in the hospital, with a cost savings to the VA of over $1 million in Massachusetts alone last year. We also have a transportation network across the state. We have over 60 vehicles. As part of that network, any veteran can call us for a ride to a VA medical appointment. We're not a shuttle service. We don't cost anything to the veteran. It's a one-on-one ride where one of our drivers will show up, pick them up for their appointment, bring them to the appointment at the end, bring them back home. And again, that's at no cost to them. We have housing programs here in Massachusetts. Our housing programs cover a wide variety of situations. We have 2-bedroom townhouse style units. That's for a single veteran or a veteran with family. We have studio apartments. We also have congregate care for people who need that little extra assistance. It's almost a step before nursing home care is what I'd like to think of it as. And there's a whole lot more, at the core though, outside of that, claims and benefits, really our lobbying and legislative efforts, I think, are the next best thing that we have going. In fact, with the PACT Act everybody's been talking about right now, that's one of the single biggest pieces of veterans legislation to come down in the last 30 years. DAV was at the forefront of that. So how do these things happen? If you're a veteran who's looking to see something change, or you're looking for a new law or benefit, something to benefit, the veteran population in general, that starts at our chapter. So you come in with that idea, this is what I'd like to see. You work with your chapter to create a resolution. Those resolutions then get passed forward to the State Department. We as a voting body, say, yes, this is great, we'd like to see this move forward, or no, it needs a little more work, let's help you with it. But once it's approved by us, if it's a state legislative effort or local community within the state, that's now our mission for the year ahead of us, and we'll aggressively go after seeking that this benefit gets passed through. If it's greater than the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, then we pass it up to our national organization, where they, at their convention, which assembles in August of every year, their voting body, with representatives from all 50 states across the country, will vote and say, yep, this is a piece of legislation we want to follow, or this is the goal we want to achieve, and then that becomes our mission for the year ahead. So it's really great being involved with this organization, family friendly. I'm a young veteran. I've been with DAV for about 10 years overall. My wife, my kids are involved with the auxiliary. The auxiliary is there to support the DAV. But it's just a great organization to be a part of. And for all those reasons I just told you and so many more, it's something that's definitely worth, if you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran who needs assistance, it's worth reaching out to us. If you're looking for how to contact us, you can hop on our website. It's davma.org. Or if you're trying to reach us for claims and benefits, you can reach out to the Boston NSO office. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 p.m. They're at the JFK Federal Building in Boston. Their number is 617-303-5675. Or you can reach them by email, which is probably the easiest way to get in contact with them. And that's at dav.vbabos@va.gov.
Which they can find off the website too, I'm sure.
Absolutely. All our contact information is on our website. You can actually find your local service officer in your community there as well.
Now, just to give people a frame of reference for how long you've been around, you said just over 100 years.
102 years.
102 years, just after the end of World War I was when you guys organized. And there was an awful lot of need for it then, because the mustard gas weapons that they used during World War I really crippled an awful lot of people. Not to mention, being shot at with live ammunition.
So our founder, Judge Robert Marks, he was a World War II veteran, and he banded together with another group of groups of veterans in his community and said, hey, we're all coming home from these wars, World War I, World War II. The hospitals in our community are not big enough to be able to treat us. There's just no room for us. We're not able to find employment. There's just too many of us, and we have all these issues that are going on. So believe it or not, they actually hopped on a train and went across the country to different cities and towns and found other veterans who were injured and ill and in similar situation. They bound together and went to Capitol Hill in D.C., which is when they were congressionally chartered in 1932 to become the DAV that we know today. One of their first lobbyist efforts was in creating the VA medical hospital, so we would have that medical care available to us. And the story just goes on and on to come to where we are now. We as veterans these days of all eras enjoy a wide variety of benefits, from disability benefits for disability compensation for injuries sustained in service. We have housing and education benefits. There's benefits we can pass on to our survivors, and so many more at both the federal and state level. And again, that's all from those efforts that they started that long ago, and we now carry that torch here today.
So if you are a veteran and you need some help, you can contact the DAV. They're here for you. Thank you so much, Mike.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Here's one of our best friends in the Veterans Associations here in Whitman, is Donnie Westhaver. Donnie, we just got finished talking with the DAV and found about everything that those guys do. And you have been a member of almost every veterans organization in town. How is that all helping, things that you're trying to do?
Well, what happened was, of course, back 23 years ago, I started the toy drive, but when my wife got sick in 2008 and died, passed away in 2009 from cancer, the VFW put a wheelchair ramp on the house. We took it off, put it away, and then another member of the VFW needed a wheelchair ramp. I put it on there, and I went on Facebook asking anybody that had a wheelchair or any type of medical equipment that they wanted to donate, because we had people that were sick. And most of the people that I've helped with the toy drive over the years said, I have this, I have that. So I got some wheelchairs, I got some ramps. I got a whole bunch of medical equipment. That was 13 years ago, and now I have trailer loads of this, so that's how that all came about.
Yeah, and the toy drivers, you had to retire from that, and that is still going strong.
I have not retired from the toy drive.
You haven't?
No.
Shock and awe, because...
Oh, no, this is my 23rd year doing it. I'm still
23rd year. Yeah, but I keep hearing, great things about what's going on down there with the toy giveaways.
Yeah, no, when COVID hit, it taught us a new way of doing it.
Yeah.
Instead of people coming in and grabbing toys, they wanted off the tables, we started doing a wish list and giving them what they actually were looking for, putting it all together, which meant that we didn't have to be down there 7 days a week. We just don't go down with a bunch of people, put all the toys together in bags, call the families up on a given Saturday or Sunday, let them ride down to the pavilion, the VFW pavilion, and do a pickup. So it's systematic now. It works much better.
Okay, tell people when the toy drive's going to start this year.
Middle of November. We usually start there. Again, down at the pavilion down at the VFW. We're on Facebook under the Whitman Area Toy Drive. I'm going to put a new website up this year also. So if people are looking for assistance, they can get in touch with us that way.
Okay, thanks a lot, Donnie. It's good to see you.
Oh, true, so true. And by the way, Shiri, you're not the only one who likes a cookie. Isn't that right? Oh, Lucy, we lost Lucy. Lucy has decided that she's off today. Lucy is part of the team of school resource officers. And actually, Plymouth County DA Tim Cruz is joining us this morning because you are a huge proponent of this program that involves these dogs. And there's a way that animals can connect, especially with teens, and kids, that maybe sometimes the adults in their life can't. Isn't that right?
Oh, absolutely. And welcome to Plymouth County, and welcome to see 4 of our Plymouth County Comfort Dogs. We have around 10 or 12 of them at this point. Mm-hmm. Still a growing thing. Getting the dogs into the schools with our school resource officers, where many of them are here today, it's so important to help these kids with mental health issues, especially after COVID. And what we've been seeing is that the important training of these dogs help these kids just get through their lives. Yeah. And also because the challenges that they face. And a lot of our kids are drug endangered. A lot of our kids have adverse childhood experiences. What we've seen, I think, by working together, we've made a small dent in that direction.
I saw for the first time Comfort Dogs come through after the Boston Marathon bombings because so many people had trauma, and it lowers the blood pressure. There's just so many benefits to it, don't you think?
There absolutely is. And I think our dogs, when they go to the schools, and these officers can tell you better than I, but every kid loves the dog. It doesn't matter what clique you're in, what group you're in. Yeah. They all come to the dogs, and they all love the dogs. And they do a tremendous job, and we're so lucky to have them. And I think it's such a positive thing for our community, and I applaud the police chiefs and all of our SROs and all the people that are working with our dogs.
Yeah, well, the Harrington brothers here are 2 of the SROs. Actually, that's not true. You're not related. But it's Kevin Harrington and also Derek Harrington, and you guys are school resource officers. Tell me about Nola.
So Nola is 5 months old. We got her back in May. She was born on March 3rd. So we're in training right now. We're in 4 days a week in Walpole for GOFI. It's Golden Opportunity for Independence. I think they've been to your studio a few times. So it's a great organization, and we'd just like to thank the district attorney, and I'd like to thank T&K Asphalt from Whitman, who donated a large sum of money to help start the program.
And really, you do need that because there's a lot. It's very time intensive, right? In order to train these dogs so that they're workable in different scenarios.
Yes, for Lucy and Nola specifically in GOFI, it's about 18 months worth of training. They start from 8 weeks old all the way up to 18 months, achieving certain certifications, certain task oriented. It's a lot of training. It's a lot of effort. These dogs are amazing, and it's well worth the investment for our communities and everyone around us.
That's awesome. And I understand not only can you follow these resource dogs on Instagram, but you guys are also, the Whitman Police are selling these patches, right?
Yes, we are. They're special edition, as we are the home of the Toll House Cookie. They're special edition patches, and all the money will go towards Noah.
I love it because I love a cookie, and so does Nola, doesn't she?
She loves cookies.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning, and we're continuing our zip trip to Whitman. Stick with us. We'll be back just after the break.
Well, this was a big surprise. I just bumped into, literally, Plymouth County DA Tim Cruz. Tim, what brought you out here this morning?
Well, thanks for speaking to me today. We brought a lot of the Plymouth County Comfort Dogs out today, which is a program that emanated from the DA's office, getting monies and trainings, trying to get comfort dogs into the schools. Whitman has one now, Hanson, we have 12 of them, and these dogs are going to the schools to help the kids that need help. And so therefore, we're funding the training. The dogs are in the schools, trying to help children who have adverse childhood experiences, kids who are drug endangered, kids who have trauma in their lives, and help them. Because the way that we look at it, by working together on the front end, which is what we're all doing, make sure that we can help these kids so they don't ever enter the criminal justice system on the back end. So far, I think it's working, and everybody loves the dogs, and they were here today, and they were just on TV, and I think everybody enjoyed them.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised at how many dogs I saw wandering around with what looked like officials on the other ends of the leashes. I was wondering who was walking who for a while.
I know. They're all the school resource officers, and those dogs live with them. They go home with them. They live with their families, and they go with them to the schools. And like I said, that's really important nowadays more than ever. And my job has gotten so much different and bigger over the years, and that's not just prosecuting cases. It's how can you prevent crime? How can you get smarter on crime? And I really believe that breaking cycles of domestic violence, child abuse, childhood trauma, making our schools trauma sensitive, I think that's the sort of stuff that's positive for us. And as a result of that, we've seen our crime numbers go down. So I think it's working, but we'll just keep moving forward and hopefully get more comfort dogs out there.
Okay. Now, what else is the Plymouth County DA's office doing as far as, things like this in the community?
Well, we've had Handle with Care, which is a program that we've had up and running for the last 15 years, in which in some of our communities, if there's an event that occurs outside of school, that next day a police officer is going to call will call the school and say they can't talk about what happened, but what they can say is, Tim Cruz, handle him with care. And then the schools have been taught to be trauma sensitive and help those kids and get them the resources that they need. And if they can't handle it, getting them to a trained professional that may be able to help them. That sort of training there is really important, helping our kids on the other end of it, the kids who are growing up with maybe, with fentanyl and carfentanil in their lives. They're not users themselves, but their family, their loved ones, their brothers, their sisters are hooked on this stuff, and those kids are potentially falling down that path, and they have what's known as adverse childhood experiences. The more kids that we can help, they won't go down that path. We won't be dealing with them later, and more importantly, help them have better and safer lives down the road. So I think it's all positive, and at the same time, we just do our job. Our job is a bunch of lawyers who work hard every day trying to promote public safety and keep people safe.
Now, along those lines, how are we doing as far as beds at rehab centers?
Well, that's always a challenge. I mean, we don't have enough beds, and many times the mental health and drug issues that are out there, they all fall to us. They all fall through the criminal justice system. So what can we do in order to help to get more beds? So I talk to our legislators, we talk to the people that are out there, but we definitely need more beds, and we need more mental health provisions. Mental health, believe it or not, is probably a bigger issue out there than the drug issues right now. So let's make sure we get more providers out there, and we need beds for people with mental health issues. They need to be diagnosed, they need to be on their medications, and they need to keep being on their medications to help themselves so they're not a danger to somebody else or themselves.
And the mental health issue is a contributing factor to the drug addiction.
Absolutely. And and the criminal justice system, like I said, is the depository of all this. And we are ill-suited to deal with it. We have drug courts, we have veterans court, we have mental health courts, we have all these different things, but wouldn't it be smarter and better if we got in front of it before they entered the system? So that's really what a lot of the things that we're doing right now. Help the people that you can help, hold dealers accountable that are putting this poison in our community, put them where they belong, which is in jail, and making sure we can get the poison out of here. I think we're making steps in the right direction, and we'll continue to do that.
Is there any place people can go to find out more information about what the Plymouth County DA's office is actually doing?
Absolutely. You can always give us a call if you need. We have an assistant DA on call all the time at 508-584-8120, or go on our website, PlymouthDA.com, and that will open the door to all the many different things that we're doing in our community in a positive nature and trying to keep people safe.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to us today, Tim.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.
It was good seeing you.
You too.
Here we have the Whitman Mothers Club. And for those of you out there who haven't really heard about it, and I don't know who that could be, here we have
Christine Hadden.
Christine Hadden, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the Mothers Club. Tell me how, here you've got it right on the banner behind you here, since 1945, so I don't even have to ask you how long you've been around. It's right there behind you.
Right. So the club started in 1945, and it has evolved from, I believe it started with nurses helping new mothers, and now we welcome, you actually don't even have to be a mother to be part of the club, but we fundraise for the town. We do a lot of big fundraisers, and every dollar that we raise goes back into the community. So we start off the year with our craft fair in December, and then our other big fundraiser is our candy cane crawl, which we rent a trolley, and we have a pub crawl that goes to all the establishments around town.
Candy cane crawl, I just have this image in my head of people crawling around on their hands and knees trying to pick up candy canes.
There might be a few people crawling by the end of the night.
That sounds like a good event for the kids, have them crawl around picking up candy canes. Maybe not in the winter though, but
Yeah, this event is adults only though.
Okay, what other events do you have that you do for the town, for the members?
So in November, we start putting together baskets, and the members all contribute, and we raffle those off in December, and then all that money goes into the town. And then in December, we also reach out to the elementary schools, and we do a giving tree. So any family that has elementary age students, we provide gifts so the families can enjoy a good Christmas. And then at the end of our season in May, we disperse whatever money we have raised through new fundraising throughout the year, and it goes to things like museum passes for the library, the different school organizations, and any organization that needs some help around town.
And those museum passes at the libraries are wonderful. I know I've taken advantage of that myself.
Yes. Yeah, and the library has let us know that they're quite pricey, so I think they appreciate any help they can get.
Now, there's a service club that's doing some service. Tell me, how can people find out more about the Mothers Club?
So we do have a website. It's whitmanmothersclub.com, or people can, we have a Facebook page, or if you know a member already, you can just reach out, and everybody's always welcome to join.
And contact information is on the website, I imagine.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. Whitman Mothers Club.
And we are back here in our Whitman Zip Trip, enjoying a wonderful morning out here. We've got a wonderful organization to tell you about. They do terrific work here in Whitman. It is the Whitman Mothers Club, and this is Jessica Cunningham with the Whitman's Mothers Club. And Jessica, good to see you this morning. They call you Mrs. C, by the way.
No, they don't.
Well, they need to start. Tell us about the Whitman's Mothers Club, because I find it interesting that this organization has been in operation since 1945. You haven't been there the whole time. None of you have. We know that. But it's a tradition that you've carried on here in town.
Yep, so like you said, the club started in 1945. It actually started by visiting nurses, going into homes and teaching moms or new moms about how to take care of their new babies. And then that developed into a club, and it's been going on ever since.
And you do a variety of things to help in the community. Talk about some of the organizations and some of the things that, or some of the places you help out, essentially.
So we help out mostly Whitman local organizations, the Whitman Food Pantry, the Historical Association, the Cultural Council. We also help out with schools. We do some scholarships as well, but all the money gets pulled back into Whitman.
That's remarkable what you guys are doing. And you have some pretty fun events, too, during the course of the year.
We do.
Tell us about some of the things you're doing.
So our major event of the year is the craft fair. That happens the first Sunday of December, and that's a big fundraiser. It gets a great turnout. We usually make a lot of money for the town on that day. And then we also do a candy cane pub crawl, where we go to local bars and pubs in town, and we have a trolley that takes people from place to place.
Is it to pick up candy canes?
No.
I thought it'd be nice. You go to different places and they hand you out candy canes.
No.
Well, let's work that in this year, shall we? That's a free idea for you. And how many people are in the organization? Because a lot of folks came out here, some of your fellow Mothers Club members.
Yep, so we usually have on average about 100 members every year.
And they come in, and obviously from 1945, new people come in all the time, and then they carry on, and then so awesome. Tell us who's here with us. You guys want to say hello real quick?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Trisha.
Joanne.
Christine.
Nancy.
Did we miss anybody? No, they're not part of the club. They're not in the club. So quickly tell people in Whitman or in the area if they want to get involved or help you guys out in any way, what's the best way to do that?
So there's multiple ways. You can come to our first meeting, which is the third Monday of September, and those meetings run September through May. You can also come down here to our tent. We're right behind us back there, and you can sign up that way as well, or you can just contact any of the members.
Awesome. Jessica, thanks so much.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Keep up the great work. You folks are doing an awesome job here for the town of Whitman. Let's get a look at the forecast. People looking ahead to the weekend. Turned out to be a gorgeous morning here in Whitmanshire.
Well, we have some breaking news here, because mere moments ago, Richard Rosen, who's the owner of McGuiggan's Pub and the Patio, just got stung by a bee. Are you okay?
I'm going to be fine.
You're going to be fine.
But as a beekeeper, I need to tell you that it was a yellow jacket and not a honeybee. Honeybees don't want to sting you.
And how do you feel? How do you feel about that? Because you prefer the honeybee, yes?
Yes, we don't like yellow jackets.
Well, they've heard. Okay, Richard, they've heard, and they're coming for you. So be careful, okay? So you do actually a lot in this town, because you're owner of McGuiggan's Pub and the Patio, which are two separate businesses. So it must be really exciting that one was so successful that you were able to expand.
It was pretty good. It was an idea that we had the pub has been open almost 14 years. Chris McMillan, the head chef, has been with us that long. The patio is 4 years old, and it was just an idea that came to, we had an empty lot, and we decided that we're going to build another restaurant.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about the role you've played in Whitman, because you've been awarded multiple economic impact awards from the Chamber of Commerce, right?
So I'm really in the real estate business. The restaurant thing is a side thing. So I think I've got 3 or 4 economic development impact awards from the South Shore. So I was on the Board of Selectmen back a long time ago, and I'm a townie. I'm 3rd generation, so I've been here all my life. My daughter is 4th generation.
Your daughter said she didn't want to talk. Point around.
Right here. Right there.
Beautiful. And Chef Chris McMillan is here, correct?
Chris is right here.
Hi.
You are responsible for the food at McGuiggan's, yes?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the dishes that we're seeing in front of us here.
All right, this plate right here is our sampler for 4. It has onion rings, mozzarella sticks, fried pickles, chicken, which you can have any flavor like buffalo or teriyaki.
I'll tell you, this plate to me says Friday. Okay, that says Friday. Tell me about the other one that's right over there.
And the other plate is a popular dinner item we have. It's steak tips. It's a full pound of steak tips that are marinated, and it gets served with 2 sides.
That's awesome. Now, will you tell us a little bit about, I know Chef Joe Lopes is the chef of the patio. Will you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing over here, those dishes?
This is the charcuterie board that the meats and the cheeses vary, so it's not always the same. So the Whitman Sampler, no takeoff on the Whitman Sampler, is our best-selling appetizer at the pub, and that's our best-selling appetizer at the patio. So that's the charcuterie board, and then we have buffalo mac and cheese.
I love mac and cheese. That's like my favorite.
As soon as we're done.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and I understand you're going to feature in another spot in our show, yes?
I think I'm going to go be the lifeline for the town trivia.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to it. In the meantime, Gene, over to you.
Here we are with our favorite fire chief, Tim Clancy. Tim, how do you think things are going here today?
This is a fantastic event. We've been here since just after they set up. What a great aspect to the community. Having the Zip Trip come out here, all the people are here, all the different vendors are here. This is really a great sense of community and brought a lot of the community together today.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's brought a lot of people out. So maybe we should try compacting things on some of the events that the town does out here so that people get a little bit more sense of being close to one another.
You know, maybe have an option like that, but I know this has a big following anyways, but to see all the citizens from the town of Whitman that have come out in surrounding communities, it's a great event. It's a good thing for the town of Whitman.
Yep. Okay, and are you enjoying yourself today, Chief?
It's wonderful. It's been a great event. We've been here most of the morning and we'll be here till they're done, and it's been a great event so far.
So what time did you really get here this morning?
I got here at 5:15 this morning.
5:15, when you beat me by about 3 hours. Okay, thanks a lot, Chief.
All right, have a good day, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we've gone from one to the other. We have another town official with us here. People probably know this guy too because he's been around for a while. Fred Smalls from the Whitman Hanson High School, Regional High School District. See, I managed to, did I get it all in there, Fred?
Whitman Hanson Regional School Committee.
Yeah, that's what it is. I knew there was something like that. It's a good thing you're here because I always make mistakes like that.
I studied hard last night for that test.
Okay, so how do you feel about having Channel 25 here on one of the Zip Trips this morning?
Oh, it's wonderful. You know, it highlights what our town's about. We're very unique. We're a small, very family-knit community. People do look out for each other. God forbid someone's in crisis. I remember the fire around the corner a few years back. The people in this town stepped up to help out a neighbor in need. Didn't matter whether you knew them or not. Between clothing donations and monetary donations, people around this town stepped up, and that's what it's all about. I don't know how much you find that in other communities. We're very, very fortunate and blessed to have that here.
Oh, okay. Any news from the school department as to what's going to be happening when school opens up this year?
Ask this guy walking behind us. School will open. Kids will go to school. They'll be educated. And, you know, we'll go on with everything always. But the big news is we're hopeful. There's a Whitman Middle School Building Committee. There's a project that's being put into place. The designs are going to the Mass School Building Authority for their approval. We'll have a town meeting, I believe it's October 30th. Following that, if it's passed at town meeting, or we'll be looking at having a ballot vote, I believe November 4th. Community comes out, if they support it, we're going to have a new middle school, and it's going to be wonderful.
And I'm here promoting the school department myself.
Oh, there you go. Panthers all the way.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Fred.
Oh, my pleasure.
And you heard it here. Kids will be educated this year in Whitman. Look who I just found. Superintendent Jeff Szymaniak. You're actually wandering around out here with the plebeians.
I am wandering around getting some folks together. My best buddies' kids are going on at 9:30. So putting a group of 20 kids together is not easy on a Friday morning.
Especially with a crowd like this.
Absolutely. I've got the football team just wandered off on me, so I'm tracking them down, and you caught me.
So, have you seen any of the practices yet this year?
I have not. I just got back from Maine, and they just started this week. So, and they really get hitting in a couple of weeks. So.
Okay, so they haven't actually started the practices yet.
They've just been working out really hard in the weight room all summer long.
Oh, well, that always helps. That way they won't have what happened to me happen to them.
Correct.
Here I am holding up my wrist like the brace is still there.
Right.
Okay.
So what a great event this is, though. Great to see our community. And, I have people from the Whitman Hanson Education Alliance talking about the new building project in Whitman for Whitman Middle School. So if you can get out there and talk to them, that would be great. A lot of good folks out here, a lot of good food, and it's just good to be in Whitman on a Friday morning.
Well, we just talked to Fred Smalls, and he said everything is on track for the Whitman Middle School.
That's correct. We are putting together a good proposal for the community for a much-needed project.
Okay, Jeff, any other surprises for us for the school year?
No, school starts in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Wednesday, so it's coming up quick.
Okay, give a date for that, just in case people catch this in the middle of September.
I'm looking in my head right now, the 30th. Wednesday the 30th, we open our doors.
Okay, thank you so much.
Take good care.
Yep.
See ya. Bye-bye.
I hear you. Hey, time to talk about the hometown team here in Whitman. This is a Whitman Hanson High School football team. Zack Botelho's the head coach in his third year, right?
Yep, correct.
And you've got a great turnout here, great program. And let's first talk about one of the great things about this program is your rivalry with Abington on Thanksgiving Day. It goes back I think this is your 112th meeting?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it's one of the best in the state. Two towns, they grow up playing youth football against each other. Dads played against dads, grandparents against grandparents, and every year, regardless of the record, it's a packed house. It's a competitive game. We were able to come on top this year, which was awesome, and we hope to keep it rolling.
Let me ask these guys here. When you guys hear the word or the name Abington, what do you think? Ooh. Oh, I like it. That's rivalry material. The kids here you've got two towns that you're working with. So how does that factor in to what's going on? And you said they play pretty much together from youth anyway, correct?
Right. So we have two youth programs, which is great. So there's a little bit of a rivalry growing up. And then when they get to the high school, it's such an awesome thing to see two towns come together. There's a little more competition, and there's a lot of talent coming from both towns. We're very lucky to have great youth programs, youth coaches, and they come up ready to play football.
What are things looking like for the upcoming season?
We're really excited about this group. We've had a great off-season. These kids have worked super hard in the weight room, 7-on-7 passing league. We have a lot of really smart kids, really dedicated kids to the community, so the character is super high. We replaced a great senior class, but we're really excited for some of the things we can do in the field this fall.
Who were you saying? You were the guy. Who's the weight room? Who's killing it? Nate Bird, you're killing it in there?
Killing it. Hit 250 yesterday. That was lit.
Doing squats or what's your high in the bench?
250.
250?
Yep.
Oh,
max.
All right. And you're a receiver, safety?
Receiver, yep. Play safety on defense. Receiver, run some routes, catch the ball, try to make plays.
That's it. That's what it's all about, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right. Also, I want to ask you, I love this guy. You also work with the Unified Track and Field team. You're also a special ed teacher, and that's an important program here. Talk a little bit about what that's about and how the kids are getting involved.
Of course. So this year we were able to start Unified Track and Field at the high school. It's a collaboration between the Special Olympics MA and then the MIAA. So we had some awesome kids with disabilities and without disabilities working together. We had an awesome season of personal bests and pizza parties and just getting all kinds of kids with different abilities together to compete in sports, because that's what sports is all about in high school.
Absolutely, and the Unified program is awesome everywhere that it's done, so congratulations on that. Keep that up. Good luck this year. And I want to read on Thanksgiving Day in the afternoon about a win over Abington. Will that be happening? Come on, Zack. Will it?
Sir, Will. Let's go. We're going to win, Beth. We're going to win.
All right, say Shiri and Lilly to you, like you really mean it. Woo. Shiri and Lilly to you, like you mean it.
Shiri and Lilly to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens when I tell Lily it's going to be sunny. She's like, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be sunny. We're winning. We're winning for summer. It's amazing weekend weather.
Hey, we've got another celebrity for you. Shiri, the meteorologist, the weather girl. Only that's really not politically correct anymore, is it?
I mean, I guess not, but I am a meteorologist, but as long as it's coming from a good place, I'm fine with it.
So how did you get involved in meteorology?
So I actually got my undergrad in teaching and became a math and science teacher, but I had dabbled in meteorology a little bit and then went to grad school at UMass Lowell nearby to go into atmospheric science because I just wanted to know all of it. I loved it. I was passionate about it. I grew up around here watching the Boston meteorologists and I just thought they were so amazing.
And it's always been a tough forecast around this place.
Yeah, tell me about it. Last winter where every snowstorm turned into a rainstorm. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely challenges. We had a really wet summer this summer, as you know, that we've just had rainstorm after rainstorm. And we've had double the normal tornadoes that we would have in a summer. So it's been a wacky year. And I think that's the beauty of meteorology is that from year to year, it can change so much and always keeps you humble.
That's what I say to people all the time. It comes in cycles. You know, people just don't seem to remember that sometimes.
Yeah, there actually are some cycles that will come in like 10 or 11 year cycles and some longer cycles than that. So that is part of meteorology. You're like a little meteorologist too. Like, I think you got your blood.
I have a lot of general interests. So tell me, how did you decide to get into television meteorology?
You know what? I grew up watching Mish Michaels and Mike Wonkum and just all these great meteorologists. And I think because that was the first place I saw weather, it's what attracted me to it. And I just thought what they were talking about was fascinating. And for me, that was just always the path I wanted to take. I think meteorology and climate change, I think it's changed a lot in the 20 years since I got a degree. And I have to say now, I bet I would have gone into climate change instead of broadcast meteorology just because I feel like it's such a bigger field now than it was 20 years ago.
So tell me, what was your road like getting to Channel 25? You started off in one of my old teachers in college used to call the long grass.
Yeah, so I actually started in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I got my first job there. Just happened to run into a news director at a fair. He had a job opening, said, "You want to come interview on Monday?" And I came down and had the worst tape ever. I think in my tape I was wearing like jeans and like it was bad. It was bad. But he took a chance on me, gave me my first job in Springfield. I was there for about 3.5 years as the weekend morning meteorologist, and I did some environmental reporting, and then made a big jump to Miami for 2 years. Was a forecaster down there, and then got hired here in Boston, which was always the goal because this was always home.
So you went from Springfield, Massachusetts to a top 10 station?
Yeah, to I think at the time it was 14 or 15, and then Boston is like pretty much top 10. I think it kind of like fluctuates in there sometimes, but it was a big jump and it was exciting, and I was very, very lucky that I had people to take a chance on me.
That's so amazing because I know so many people that went from here to here to here to here, climbing the ladder of station numbers, you know. So, okay, you have any plans from here?
In my career or on this beautiful day?
Well, more in your career, this beautiful. By the time we get to see this here in Whitman, it will be like 2 or 3 weeks later.
I know, absolutely. So, you know, I've been at my station for almost 11 years, and gosh, I built a family here. I'd like to ride out this career as long as I can. I love my weather team. We have Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lemanowitz. We have new Tucker Antico, and we have Vicki Graff, and they're just such great meteorologists. But my morning team as well, it feels like home. Like I just can't imagine changing that anytime soon. So what I see right now in my future is continuing to give the best forecast I can to this area and just continuing.
Well, actually, there's been a lot of that with weathermen in this neighborhood. I mean, Don Kent was in this market for 40 years. Barry Burbank was almost as long. And there are other meteorologists, too, that came here, had long careers, and retired from Boston.
Yeah, and I think the reason why is that a lot of us are actually from here. I think that this area yeah, everybody I work with now, we're all Southern New Englanders. We were all born here. A lot of us went to school here. And the goal was always to come here and raise our own families here. So this is home for us, and we want to be home and work home. The goal isn't to jump to a bigger market from here. The goal is to make a career and the best one we can here at home.
And you certainly picked a Lulu, because it's always been tough for the weather people here to try and keep ahead of the weather.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like a forecast that doesn't quite go right to keep you humble. So I think that's the beauty of weather, is that no matter how many times you feel like you've seen a storm like the one you're forecasting, there's always something a little bit different. There's always the potential that it's going to be a very different storm in the long term. And I think, you know, being able to have those past storms helps us build a gut. And I do think that having that gut is a very important part of forecasting around here. But I also think that staying humble and realizing sometimes the forecast doesn't work out as perfectly as we hope, it's important to also learn from those moments.
I mean, can you imagine what it would be like trying to forecast without the computer modeling?
No, I mean, which direction is the wind coming from? It's something like that, right? Looking up the type of clouds. And that is still part of what we learn. But I mean, the computer models have come such a long way. And I think it's going to be incredible to see like what happens next with AI developing and all this stuff. I think there's going to be incredible changes in the next 10 years.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Shiri. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Shiri, thanks so much. I am with Kathleen Woodward, who is the recreation director, and she's brought a special sign. First of all, show us the sign. James, will you show the sign? Because I'm asking our photographer, because you have a lot of people that you want to thank, yes?
32 amazing park and pool staff who put on an amazing summer park program this year, and we are so thrilled. So thank you to each and every one of you. You rocked.
So I'm going to have you put this aside for just a moment, because speaking of pools, let's dive right in, shall we?
Absolutely.
Tell me about the different programs that you guys have as the rec director going on in Whitman all the time.
So during the summertime, we have a pool program that we have a swim team that runs early morning. They jump right in, bright and early, 7:15, and then we have swim lessons that happen during the day and during the morning, and then in the later morning we have our park program, which comes and uses the pool as well.
You know what I love about that is that's a life skill, and a lot of these kids go on to the swim team where they become lifeguards.
Yes, thankfully we can definitely credit the swim program, the Red Cross swim program at the Whitman Town Pool for all of those. Yes.
Now, one of my favorite things is an outdoor movie. There's nothing like it. I understand there's a feature tonight.
Yes.
What's the picture that's running tonight?
We are running Lightyear.
Fantastic.
Yes, Upper Town Park. And we'd love to have everybody come.
Now, those are some of the summer events, but you've got stuff going on the fall, and you're a teacher, fourth grade teacher, too.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you must love children.
I do, absolutely.
That's so
great
wonderful.
Place. And it's a wonderful place to spend the summer. And then I love teaching as well in the schools, in Whitman Hanson schools.
Now, in terms of things that are going on with the rec program year-round, where can people find out more information?
Well, you can go on to the Whitman Town website and our recreation page, and we list everything that's happening.
I tell you, it's moving and grooving here, Whitman, isn't it?
We are very busy.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Kathleen Woodward, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back
Appreciate
to
it.
Whitman in the recreation department's park right
Yes.
there.
Here we are.
Here we
Yes.
are in Town Park. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Right now, we're here in the Air National Guard tent with Tech Sergeant Brian Whitman. That's a great last name for somebody to have in this location.
It is pretty ironic. I saw my name on the sheet and I figured it was on purpose, but they say it wasn't. So.
Okay, so you can become you're a Whitman son already, even though you don't live here.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about how the Air National Guard got started?
So the Air National Guard was founded right around the creation of America. We felt we needed a defense for the country, so they went ahead and went with the National Guard.
Okay, and what does the Air National Guard do as opposed to just the regular National Guard?
So the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard are very similar, just different components, part-time components for each branches. The main difference is that the National Guard and the Air National Guard, we have state missions as well. So anytime there's a national emergency for your state, you could be called upon to, COVID relief or snow removal, tornadoes, things like that. That's what really differentiates us from the reserve and active duty.
Okay. But the Air National Guard also does some flying around for some of those things too, I imagine.
We do. So the Air National Guard does a lot of flying. Some bases do more than actually active duty. So we do a lot of flying. Some bases don't do as much flying. Some bases do a lot. It all depends on their mission.
Sometimes backing up other things like maybe the Coast Guard or something like that?
Of course. Different strategies around the nation. Obviously, we support, any branch who needs us. But, we have our specific mission set, and, that's what our primary focus is.
Okay. Now, for anybody who might be interested in finding out more about the Air National Guard, how do they do that?
So the easiest way would be to go on airforce.com, go to Find a Recruiter, and then click which branch you want to join, whether it's reserve, active duty, or guard, and then it'll get you in contact with a recruiter, and then we'll teach you more about it and figure out if it's a good suit for you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sergeant.
Thank
It's
you.
been nice talking to you. Here is another group with a presence for our zip trip in Whitman today. It's an international service organization, plus a whole lot more. The Salvation Army, and you are Major?
I'm Major Scott Kelly. I'm General Secretary for the state of Massachusetts.
Okay. Can you tell us more about the Salvation Army?
Well, we serve in over 130 countries around the world, as you indicated, but in Massachusetts, we serve every zip code through our various brick and mortar units and our volunteer-based units as well.
Okay. Now, just give us an example of some of the kinds of things that you wind up helping people with.
We do a lot of rent and utility assistance. Food is definitely something that we do a lot of food distributions, addressing food insecurity. But then at the local level, it could be anything from prescriptions to, whatever people's needs are. Our goal is to meet human needs as they present themselves as best we can with the resources available.
Now, not only that, but you also wind up at disasters, both great and small.
That's true. We have our emergency disaster services personnel at a number of locations. I mean, some of them are serving in Hawaii, so that would be a tough one, but...
And I'm sure there's plenty of them serving wherever there have been flash floods around this area lately.
Absolutely. Many of our local teams serve, and we do large disasters, we do small disasters, just trying to help people where their point of need is.
Also, you're at a lot of fires, too, that happen, especially in urban areas.
We do fires, we do floods, we do any kind of disaster you can think of. We're usually one of the first to arrive because we're embedded in most communities, and we stay until the needs are met.
And give us just a kind of a brief synopsis of the history of the Salvation Army.
We actually started in London, England. Our founder was a Methodist minister, and he recognized that there was a portion of the community that wasn't reached by the organized church, so he went out to reach those people, and then realized you couldn't speak to people's deeper physical or deeper emotional and spiritual needs if their physical needs weren't being met. So that's how he started addressing meeting people's needs and then helping them to recover their lives and move on from there.
And the Salvation Army is still doing that, meeting people's physical and spiritual and emotional needs.
That's correct. In Massachusetts, we have 29 what we call core community centers, CORPS. It's a military term, but those are our local churches, and we have worshiping congregations, and that's the motivation for what we do. We feel that our spiritual commitment and what God has done for us mandates us then to meet people's needs and to share the love of God in very tangible ways.
Yes, and for anybody who might be looking, there is a Salvation Army Corps, church, whatever you'd like to call it, not too far from here.
We have several in the area, Brockton, Plymouth, Quincy, yeah.
Well, I was thinking mostly of Brockton since that's our next door community here. Okay, so I want to thank you very much for talking with me this morning, and God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Well, we found another one. This little gathering today seems to be bringing the town fathers out in droves. Dan Salvucci, Selectman, how are you enjoying yourself today?
Very well. I mean, the turnout is outstanding. The people of Whitman have been very nice, and I think the park looks great, everything's worked out fine. Yep, they did a good job.
Okay, have you been having a good time wandering around here? You know, the social butterfly that you are?
Yeah, I'm talking to lots of people, and ones that I see, and everything's fine. I mean, they did a great job. I'm so proud of the town of Whitman celebrating with this zip trip and putting themselves out there. It's just fantastic.
Okay, now I kept wondering though, maybe we should have put the sign on your hat there with flashing lights on it so people could tell that you were from Whitman.
Yeah, well, my wife got this for a Christmas gift, and usually I wear it when I march in the parades or special occasions. This is a special occasion.
We could also add a little bit up top that says, I am a selectman.
Nah, I don't do that. No.
I figured.
They know. After 21 years, they know who I am.
Okay, thank you so much, Dan.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Crystal, we thank you. One of the great organizations we're finding in a lot of different schools, especially here at Whitman Hanson High School, is the Best Buddies program. A lot of involvement with the students at this school in the program. Kathy Buzan and Jen Buteau are the co-advisors of the program. They're going to tell us a little bit more about what's going on. And Kathy, first of all, tell us about the participation of the high school students in this program.
It's unbelievable. We have over 60 members. I feel like every year it grows more and more.
Yeah. And Kathy, what's the big reason you find that students are getting involved now?
I think it's the sense of friendship and inclusion that we've expanded throughout the entire school and even down to the lower grades. We had a nice event this year with the middle schools and elementary schools. So just everybody gets included and has fun.
We're seeing programs grow in schools all across the state, which is really, it's heartening to see kids getting involved.
It is a place where everyone knows when they show up, they are accepted for who they are. It's a friendship club, and everyone is welcomed, and we have a lot of fun.
All right, I want to kind of skip over you guys, if you don't mind, and cut in front of you here to talk to Logan Thomas. You're the former student president of Best Buddies, and you graduated, you're heading to college, you want to be a special education teacher, correct?
Yeah.
What about being in the Best Buddies program helped you want to sort of maybe follow that career path?
Well, honestly, the rewarding, feeling from it, I guess. I don't know. Being around these guys was, the highlight of every single day. The class, I had a class tutoring them. It was the best thing in the entire world. And every day going to Best Buddies, it was just...
Was there a favorite activity you had, or was it just in general being around and hanging out?
Over the years, yeah, I found that it was my favorite, and then going to hang out was, what I looked forward to in my day.
Where are you going to school?
UMass Boston.
Well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and I'm going to come over here right now. I'm going to talk to Ashley Kobus. Ainsley Kobus, and also Allie Foley are both with us. You guys are currently in school now,
yes.
Correct? So,
I graduated.
You graduate. Okay, but you guys are here, and you are known as the what are you? Your title. Don't tell me. Just tell me what your experience has been like. Because you guys are ambassadors. Is that the word I'm looking for?
I'm the co-president this upcoming year.
That's like an ambassador.
Okay.
It's still part of the administration.
Right.
But tell me about your experience.
I've just had a great experience. I've made so many friendships that I don't think I would have made if I wasn't part of this club. There's so many people that I wouldn't have necessarily had classes with, but I've got to meet and become close with. And we've done a ton of fun events too, like going to the Celtics games, going bowling, and I've just made a lot of memories.
I know for those involved that you're helping out, it's going to be rewarding for them, but as we're hearing, it's probably even more rewarding for you guys, Allie.
Yeah, I'm going to go to school for special education too.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I like these people. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
This community has been really great to everybody so far, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Congratulations to all of you. Everybody here, congratulations on the Best Buddy program. Let's have a big wave now. The Best Buddies program at Whitman Hanson High School. You guys are doing a great job. Really amazing work. Lily, let's get it to you.
Gene, thanks so much. I'm here with Mary Holland, who is the Council on Aging Director. And Mary's been so kind to open up the Senior Center for us. It's just such an inviting place this morning, and it's right on the town square. And I know that you like to interact with some of the seniors with a joke or two, so you got one for me. I hope Gene's listening, because this is right up his street.
I do. My joke is, why did the sesame seed not want to leave the casino?
Mary, do tell.
Because he was on a roll.
Come on, that's good stuff. Tell me about some of the services, aside from comedy, that you offer.
We offer a lot of services. We offer fuel assistance. We offer help with prescriptions and insurance. home Meals on Wheels. We have congregate meals in the center that people can come in for.
Anything that you might need, if you just come to the senior center there, the Council on Aging is going to help you get to the next step.
100%. We never know what's going to come through the door. Every day is different, and I love my job. Like, I can't tell you how much I love my job. I love my seniors, and it's such a rewarding place to be.
Very different than high school seniors. They're much better behaved. Tell me about some of the events and activities.
One of our favorites is mocktails and tattoos. The seniors love that one. when we first did it the first time, they started with a little tattoo, then they wanted a little more. They were on their legs.
That's the thing with tattoos, I tell you. Well, I tell you what, Mary, our friends at Eternal Health wanted to give you something, isn't that right?
Yeah, so we are Eternal Health, your hometown Medicare Advantage company. We are based right here in Massachusetts. Really excited to announce that we're moving into 6 counties in Massachusetts, including Plymouth, so really excited to be here. Our mission is to really just educate and empower seniors for their options, not even just with us, but all of them. As we know, health is one of our most important things we could ever have. So we are excited to present to you our Champions of Care Award. This is just a token of our gratitude for all the hard work that you do. And we look forward to seeing what's next for you guys.
That's so well deserved, Mary. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be back from our zip trip to Whitman in just a moment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Shiri. Time for Taste of the Town. And when you talk about a place that is synonymous with the town of Whitman, you really got to talk about the Venus Cafe. This is John Drosos, the owner, with us. You go back almost 60 years in town.
59 years this month.
59 years this month.
Yeah.
From Pete the Greek, right? Pete the Golden Greek.
Yeah, that's right, wrestler. Yeah.
Right. He was part of the trivia question, and they got it right, so you'll be happy to know that.
Thank you.
What's been the key to the success? The last almost 60 years, you got to be doing something right.
Well, it's only a few of us that do it, and kind of, we try to keep it the same. And I'm a bit of a jerk sometimes, I guess. Oh, sure. So I kind of try to keep it going the same way.
But a pizza jerk is a good thing because that leads to quality.
The pizza is everything. It's what comes out to this, and I think it's really good, and a lot of other people do too. So I guess we're all doing something right.
So you would tell me you have 36 different toppings?
At least 35 different toppings.
35.
Yeah, and they all sell.
If someone comes to you with an idea, then you like it, it works, you name the pizza after them.
This one right here. This is Sean's Buffalo Pizza.
Sean, good job thinking that up. All right, let's point to the pizzas. You tell us what you got. What do we have here?
So that's a cheese pizza. You can't have a pizza place unless you can make a cheese pizza.
Right.
That's Elaine special.
Elaine special?
My sister.
Okay. She likes broccoli.
She likes broccoli. That's a Dunn special. The Dunns came up with that years ago.
Okay.
That's the house special, the Venus special.
All right.
Oreo.
Oreo?
Oreo.
Like as in cookies?
Oreo, right there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My father came up with this one years ago. It's a pita special.
What is on that? Is that bacon?
No, it's a linguiça hamburger and hot cherry peppers.
Oh boy, you better know what you're doing before you dig into that.
That's a regular pepperoni, obviously. That's a veggie pizza.
Yep.
And that's an Andy special.
After Andy Devine, our photographer?
There you go, after Andy. There it is.
What's on the Andy special?
That has sausage, chicken, gold sauce, and roasted red pepper.
Now, if it's truly an Andy Devine, it would have a little donut on there.
If you want a donut, put it on.
Would that be accurate, AD? Would that work? Tell everybody where you're at, John, and how they can find out more about what you're doing if they want to order some pies to go.
We're right over there across the street from the post office and town hall. We do buy 3, get 1 free every day. And, 447-781, 447-9072. You can get us on DoorDash for delivery. And that's about it, I guess.
You hustled out here for us this morning to make this segment, so we appreciate that as well.
Hey, thank you for the publicity.
And you're welcome. And
the Venus,
eat it. What's that?
I hope that people
we'll get people to eat it. And congratulations on all your success, sir.
I appreciate that. Nice to see you again.
Appreciate
Thank you.
This is a man who suffers for his pizza for all of you. Let's hear it for him. Venus Cafe here in Whitman. We're going to take a break, and people are going to devour this pie, I guarantee it. We'll be right back.
To our zip trip to Whitman. I tell you what, my name is Elizabeth Hopkins, and there's never been an acai bowl I met that I didn't like. I have to tell you, that is the place to find them here at Wicked Loft Cafe. Kathy and Jen Mitchell are the owners here, and you have, I love a breakfast sarnie to go, let me tell you, and you have a lot of great choices, right?
Yes, we do.
Tell me about the concept behind Wicked Loft Cafe.
We started about 2 years ago, and we
try to implement healthy food and things that you can get in the morning on the go, and we have lunch items.
Yeah, these are things that we've always made at home that we love ourselves and, pick up to go, fast, casual type food.
And a lot of the smoothies and drinks have very interesting colors. As a matter of fact, ladies, I ask you, when it comes to this color, what Muppet had to die so you could make this smoothie? I mean, you have really interesting colors here, blue and green and white and pink. Tell me what's mixed into these smoothies.
Yeah, so that one actually has an additive called blue spirulina. It's a supplement that's good for like your joints and inflammation. This one right here is dragon fruit. That's where we get the bright color. Green, we have spinach. We try to make good tasting smoothies and stuff like that, but also with decent ingredients, of course.
So you're hiding the good stuff in some delicious taste.
And then we have more fun things like our strawberry cheesecake, where that's definitely on the sweeter side if you're not looking for a so healthy option, but it's still made with fresh fruit.
And tell me about some of the sandwiches that you have here.
We have a breakfast sandwich here with bacon and avocado and egg and sausage. That's called our yippee.
We have the bull rider over here, which is, this is definitely our top seller. It's chipotle sauce, which everyone seems to love. Bacon, egg, avocado, and it comes on a wrap.
Now, if people want to swing on by and grab a sandwich to go, where can they do it?
We're located at 7 Marble Street in Whitman, right on the corner of South Ave and Marble.
I love that. Ladies, thank you so much for bringing out your wares today. Do you mind if I take a smoothie to go?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
All right, awesome. We'll be back from our zip trip to Whitman just after the break.
Well, we've got somebody here that a lot of folks in town will recognize because he's been a townie for his entire life. James Cullity, Emmy Award-winning news photographer. What was it like coming back to the old town, James?
Hey, it was nice. It was a great turnout from everybody. A lot more people than I thought would go there. It was my first zip trip, so didn't really know what to expect, but Whitman showed up.
Well, they always come out for a good celebrity.
Oh, yeah. We had a few here.
And we have to thank you for arranging the interviews we got with, here I am going blank again, with Shiri and...
Shiri and, Elizabeth Hopkins.
Okay. So those 2 interviews he's responsible for. I'm responsible for getting him on this camera because what I say, he does.
Yeah?
Yeah, like that's ever really happened, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot, James. You got to get back and finish packing up the trucks, and we'll see you somewhere around town soon, I hope.
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
Well, the zip trip is now finished as far as Channel 25 is concerned today. This is executive producer Brittany. Brittany, what's it like to be an executive producer on a big deal like this?
Well, someone from Whitman pulled me aside and said it's like watching professionally controlled chaos. And that sums it up pretty well.
Well, it is on our end, too, so even the small guys have professionally controlled chaos.
Yep. No, it's great. I mean, it all comes together. It's a lot of planning in the beginning for weeks and weeks and working with the town. And then we get to see it all, transpire in one day. And we hope for good weather. We got beautiful weather and a great crowd. So it's a lot of fun and it's super rewarding.
Yeah, now I have to ask you a question because I've been in this business a long time. How many producers do you actually have working with you?
Myself.
No associate producers, anything like that?
That's not true. We have, we have 2 other folks in my department that help out. But really, the manpower is the people you see here. So cameras and engineers, tech. That's what makes this happen.
Floor directors.
We kind of all act as a floor director almost. But
because I know when they were doing the interview over there with the music organization that they had somebody over there to keep people from walking in front of the camera.
Right. So that's another, that's another producer out here that helps, kind of get the anchors from one tent to another and kind of gets the crowd, out of the shot or in the shot, depending on what we need.
I can't tell you how many times as a camera operator, I have had to try and stop people from walking in front of the camera that I was running.
They don't see it. Yep.
Yeah, they see the guy with the microphone, but they don't see the camera that's 6 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of that too, so I walk in front of our camera at least, once a season.
Well, as long as they're not live, right?
Right.
Okay. Now you get the crews packing up here. What's next on your agenda?
Next on my agenda is a shower and a nap, and then I start thinking about next week. So we're headed to Sterling.
Sterling, well, that's central Massachusetts, right?
It is far from here.
Okay, well, I hope you have a good time in Sterling. As good a time, at least, as you had here.
Yes, thank you. We hope, but Whitman was amazing, so thanks for having us.
Okay, by the way, I just have to tell you, I knew James when he was just starting in this business.
Yes, we were happy to have James out, his first zip trip of the season. So.
Well, I'm glad he's making Whitman good because he got into the deal with Channel 25, and he's doing well.
Yeah.
Because he has an Emmy under his belt now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Brittany. It was so nice meeting you. And we'll look forward to the next zip trip out
That's
here.
it. Well, maybe in 8 to 10 years.
Well, that sounds reasonable. I mean, you know, you did Dedham twice in 20 years, so maybe we can get the same thing.
Yep. All
okay,
right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, it's all over now. As you can see behind me here, almost everything is gone except the big tent that they used for the studio this morning. We had a great time here. It was a lot of fun. For those of you that weren't able to get here, you really missed something. It was quite the experience. So we told that maybe we might be able to get back on again another zip trip in maybe 10 years or so. So plan on that one for the family you don't have yet if you're young, and for your grandchildren if you're a little older, because it was really a great time. A lot of fun. I even had a lot of fun. So from the zip trip on Whitman Park in Whitman, this is WHCA saying so long.